Blah. Hello, people. All 0 of you. We never finished Ecclesiastes, mostly because it was getting kind of depressing. So, in light of that, I've been having this idea sneaking around in my head called wisdom with an H to tie in whiskey and wisdom in the vein of, I think it was Sasquatch that said whiskey and the word on Sunday evenings, and I like that a lot. But the idea of wisdom with an H has just been kind of with me, because a man needs a libation at X o'clock in the evening. And through the miracle of modern science, what's up, Haas? How are you, brother? See, that's why I like doing these live things on Sundays. Through the miracle of modern science, I have both YouTube Live going right now, and I'm uploading YouTube videos from this weekend. So, whatever. This should be fun until somebody barges through that door over there, or my wife calls and is like, "How come you won't talk to me? It's the evening. I love you. Let's chat." What's up, Kurt? How are you, brother? So, I think we left off in Ecclesiastes 7. Yeah. I think that's where we left off, was Ecclesiastes 7. Yep. Hey, what's up, William? How are you? So, we'll just go ahead and dive right in. I want to get through Ecclesiastes, and again, we're in the doldrums of Ecclesiastes. It's... this part's not terribly exciting to read, but we're going to do it. So, without further ado, Ecclesiastes 7. The value of practical wisdom. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death better than one's birth. Better to go to a house of mourning than to go to a house of feasting. We already read this last time. Good, we'll skip ahead to Ecclesiastes 8. Alright. Who is like a wise man, and who knows the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom makes his face shine, and the sternness of his face is changed. Obey authorities for God's sake. I say, keep the king's commandment for the sake of your oath to God. Do not be hasty to go from his presence. Do not take your stand for an evil thing, for he does whatever pleases him. Where the word of a king is, there is power, and who may say to him, "What are you doing?" He who keeps his command will experience nothing harmful. And a wise man's heart discerns both time and judgment, because for every matter there is a time and a judgment. That goes back to Ecclesiastes 3. For everything there is a season, turn, blah, 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 and the, hippie song, yada, yada. Right? That's a direct quote from Ecclesiastes 3. And, okay, 8:6, because for every matter there is a time and a judgment, though the misery of man increases greatly, for he does not know what will happen. So who can tell him when it will occur? No one has power over the spirit to retain the spirit, and no one has power in a day of death. There is no release from that war, and wickedness will not deliver those who are given to it. All this I have seen, and applied my heart to every work that is done under the sun. There is a time in which one man rules over another to his own heart. Where's Palmetto? He's probably frolicking naked somewhere, about to get arrested for indecent exposure again. It's unacceptable, brother. You really need to get that under control. The kilt was one thing, but just the straight up nudist colony thing is a little too much. It's a little too much. I'm just speaking truth in love. Ecclesiastes 8:10. Death comes to all. True enough. I just got a text message from my wife. Let's see what she said. See, a lot of meat there. That is correct, brother. Alright. Ecclesiastes 8:10. Then I saw the wicked buried, who had come and gone from the place of holiness, and they were forgotten in the city where they had so done. This also is vanity, because the sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Excuse me. And burp. That's a direct quote. And burp. Do evil and burp. Though a sinner does evil 100 times, and his days are prolonged, yet I surely know that it will be well with those who fear God and who fear before him. But it will not be well with the wicked, nor will he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he does not fear before God. There is a vanity which occurs on earth, that there are just men to whom it happens according to the work of the wicked. Again, there are wicked men to whom it happens according to the work of the righteous. So that's kind of a lengthy, clumsy way of saying good things happen to bad people and bad things happen to good people, which we've addressed before on Shabbat, previous talks. Why does the Father allow that to happen? I would say part of that is building testimony. Part of that is because he's the Father. Everything he does is sovereign. I mean, we can go look at the book of Job, but I don't want to spend a month sitting here talking to you guys right now about the book of Job, because that's what it would take to really unpack that book. But why do good things happen to bad people? Because. Why do bad things happen to good people? Because. If the Father ordains it, our job is not to sit around and, oh, woe is me. It's his will be done, not my will be done. So, and if you look at, like, Job was increased how many fold? Hey, Tina, how are you? Rain falls on grass and the weeds. That's correct. Okay, my love. Texting my time to grow one's faith. Yes. Sorry, I was texting Miss Harmony. So, good things for bad people, bad things for good people. It's all ordained under the sun. It's not about us. Sorry, my wife is texting me again. Alright. So, where are we? Blah, 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 blah. This also is vanity. Okay. This also is vanity. 8:15. So I commended enjoyment, because a man has nothing better under the sun than to eat, drink, and be merry. Amen. Let's read that again. So I commended enjoyment, because a man has nothing better under the sun than to eat, drink, and be merry. For this will remain with him in his labor all the days of his life, which God gives him under the sun. When I applied my heart to know wisdom, and to see the business that is done on earth, even though one sees no sleep day or night. Then I saw all the work of God, that a man cannot find out the work that is done under the sun. For though a man labors to discover it, yet he will not find it. Moreover, though a wise man attempts to know it, he will not be able to find it. Again, getting back to kind of the lack of longevity of a man or a woman. He talks about before how you're never going to see the full fruition of your labor, right? You will not be around long enough temporally to experience the fruits of your labor downstream for generations to come. So he counts that as folly. And maybe it's my lack of wisdom showing, but I would say to a certain extent I disagree with that, because I think I have a very much so, how do you understand King James? I read the passage 5 times, I'm still lost. Eyes to see, ears to hear, ? I don't know. I was raised in a conservative Baptist church. They literally beat you with one of these when you walk through the door, and then it's just stuck in the side of your head. So, but I think a lot of paying it forward in generational wealth and paving a good pathway for the people who will come after me, whether they're my own progeny, whether they're carrying my DNA or not. So, I may never see what the people do with what I've accomplished after I'm gone, but I will leave this temporal plane knowing that I did the best that I could with what I had where I was at. In the North, brother, in the North. Southern Baptist is a whole different story than Northern Baptist. I went to those Southern African American Baptist churches, and they dance and they sing, and like it's like a concert, man. They're partying. They're up there like raising the roof and going nuts, and there's people dancing in the aisles, and like they worship for 4 hours, and they take a break and eat some lunch and come back and do it again for another couple hours. And I'm like, I'm wore out, man. Y'all are having too much fun. So Southern Baptist, yeah, amen, brother. Northern Baptist, the church that I grew up in, was very prim and proper, and very nice to see you, brother. That's a lovely pinstripe suit you're wearing this week. I love the gray, you know. Obnoxiously boring. Do we have time for 9? We did 8. Let's do 9. Yeah, we'll get out 9. Alright. Here we go. Ecclesiastes 9. For I considered all this in my heart, so that I could declare it all, that the righteous and the wise and their works are in the hand of God. People know neither love nor hatred by anything they see before them. All things come alike to all. True enough. One event happens to the righteous and the wicked, to the good, the clean, and the unclean, to him who sacrifices and him who does not sacrifice. As is the good, so is the sinner, he who takes an oath as he who fears an oath. This is an evil in all that is done under the sun, that one thing happens to all. Truly the hearts of the sons of men are full of evil. Madness is in their heart while they live, and after that they go to the dead. But for him who is joined to all the living there is hope, for a living dog is better than a dead lion. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. And he does, you know, being honest, he does play the devil's advocate here quite a bit. If you read this continually through and through, you'll find that he's kind of establishes a line down the middle and then just meanders back and forth all over it, where he's arguing both the pros and the cons. I'd rather be a dead lion than a living dog. Fact. I've said many a times, I think the most amazing show of faith that I can think of is the second guy in line when they were beheading Syrian Christians. And they say, all right, who's a Christian? The first guy says, I am. They take his head off. What's up, desert wanderer? The second guy, the guy that has the most faith I think one could fathom, is the second guy that says, me too, bro, after just seeing his buddy's head lopped off with a dull machete. I would rather be a dead lion than a live dog. And I really don't think that we're being persuaded here in Ecclesiastes that it's better to be a live dog. I believe he's playing devil's advocate here. For the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing, and they have no more reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. Also their love, their hatred, and their envy have now perished. Never more will they have a share in anything done under the sun. Go eat your bread with joy, and drink your wine with a merry heart. Okay. And drink your wine with a merry heart. For God has already accepted your works. Let your garments always be white, and let your head lack no oil. I barely caught whatever that comment was. I was trying to read it. I apologize. Live joyfully with the wife whom you love all the days of your vain life, which he has given you under the sun, all your days of vanity, for that is your portion in life, and in the labor which you perform under the sun. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might, for there is no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you are going. Second guy's the one. Correct, William. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift. I'm sure y'all have heard this before. This will sound familiar. The race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to the wise, nor riches to men of understanding, nor favor to men of skill, but time and chance happen to them all. For man also does not know his time. Like fish taken in a cruel net, like birds caught in a snare, so the sons of men are snared in an evil time, when it falls suddenly upon them. This wisdom I have also seen under the sun, and it seemed great to me. There was a little city with a few men in it, and a great king came against it, besieged it, and built great snares around it, or bulwarks. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by wisdom delivered the city. Yet no one remembered that same poor man. Then I said, Wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. Words of the wise spoken quietly should be heard, rather than the shout of a ruler of fools. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroys much good. That is the end of 9, which brings us to 10, 11, and 12, which we will not be doing this evening, but perhaps next Sunday evening we will. I kind of enjoy this little wisdom thing with an H, where we apply whiskey to the word and see what happens. I'm going to keep this short for a couple of reasons. Number 1, I need to call my wife. Number 2, slow down, I'm a little slow, roger that. I need to call my wife. I need to take a shower and go to bed and get up for work in the morning. So that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you all for being here. I love this stuff, and we'll do it again soon. Shalom and blessings, y'all. Bye.